NICET Level 1 Fire Alarm Systems Exam Questions. The power source for a power-limited fire alarm circuit shall be a listed PLFA or class ______ transformer. Class 3 transformer. The minimum clear safe working distance from an energized 240-volt breaker panel that has the cover removed is _______________________ FT from the wall in front the panel. 3 feet. While testing a fire alarm system, a review of the documentation reveals that the installation was completed on July 1, 2010. Since then, records indicate that smoke detector sensitivity was tested in 2011 then 2013, both within the marked sensitivity range. The next sensitivity test should have been done in the year ___________2018. Drawings shall consist of current, updated shop drawings reflecting the actual installation of all system equipment, components and wiring. Record. What are the general care instructions for injuries to muscles, bone and joints? Rest, immobilize, apply cold. EMT shall be securely fastened in place at least every _____ feet. 10 feet. Ladders must be inspected _____ to identify any visible defects that could cause employee injury. Before initial use. According to NFPA 72, the system account number is located in section ______ of the record of completion. Section 2. Prior to installing fire alarm system cabling, it is noted that the area above a drop ceiling does not have return air ducts. The whole space is used as an environmental air return. What type of fire alarm cabling is best suited for this application? FPLP. Which of the following is an acceptable method for performing a smoke entry test of a spot-type smoke detector? Listed and labeled smoke product acceptable to the manufacturer. There shall not be more than the equivalent of _________ quarter bends between pull points, for example conduit bodies and boxes in a run of rigid metal conduit. For quarter. What are the general care instructions for injuries to muscle, bone and joints? Rest, immortalize, apply cold. Which of the following is not required to be tested and documented on the primary power section of the system record of inspection and testing? Battery type. Consider a series circuit where E equals 3 volts and R equals 3 ohms. The current is _____ amps. 1 amps. According to NFPA 72D, system report of inspection and testing has supervising station monitoring at section ______ of the documentation. Section 6.6. A minimum _____ dB ambient sound level with a 6-hour exposure time requires hearing protection. 92 dB. According to NFPA 72, the on-site location of the required record documents and specific software is notes in section ______ of the record of completion. Section 3. While conducting a charger test on sealed lead-acid batteries, it is important to ensure the batteries are fully connected to the charger. Measure the voltage across the batteries with a voltmeter. Verify the voltage is _____ volts per cell. 2.30 volts. When using a meter voltage in a single series circuit, it is important to make sure the meter is located _______ with the circuit. In parallel, consider the use of visible notification appliances. Wall-mounted appliances shall be mounted such that the entire lens is not less than __________ inches above the finished floor. 80 inches. According to NFPA 72, section _____ of the record of completion is used to note the input voltage. Section May 1st 11. Consider the installation of rigid metal conduit, RMC. Where conduit is threaded in the field, a standard cutting die with a 1-inch ______ taper shall be used. 16 taper. Smoke detector functional test frequently is _____________. Annual. ________ diagrams show field wiring terminals and identifications. Control unit. What does the symbol when A is in an octagon indicates? Heat detector. The location of the branch circuit overcurrent protective device shall be permanently identified at the fire alarm control unit __________. Which of the following is a requirement of the circuit disconnecting means? Select 3. 1. Red identification. 2. Accessible only to qualified personnel. 3. Identified as fire alarm circuit. All means of interconnecting equipment, devices, and appliances, and wiring connections shall be monitored for the integrity of the interconnecting conductors or equivalent path so that the occurrence of a single open or a single ground fault condition in the installation conductors or other signaling channels is automatically indicated within _______ seconds. 200 seconds. Article _______ of NFPA 70 governs Class 1, Class 2, and Class 3 remote control, signaling, and power limited circuits. Article 725. Consider a fire alarm system which uses an automatic starting engine-driven generator for the secondary power supply servicing the branch circuit dedicated to the fire alarm system. Storage batteries are required which are dedicated to the system with _______ hours of capacity. 4 hours. When installing fire alarm cable in a hoistway, the cable shall be installed using ________ EMT, IMC, RMC. If a door release detector is specifically listed for door frame mounting, or if a listed combination or integral detector door closer assembly is used _______ detectors shall be required if installed according to the manufacturer's published instructions. 1 detector. How many 16-gauge conductors are permitted in a 4x1.5 inches square box? 12. Shop drawings shall be drawn to an indicated scale, on sheets of uniform size, with a plan for each ________. Floor. Which of the following is not one of the criteria to be designated a confined space? A room that locks when the door is closed. Which of the following conductor types is an acceptable substitute for FPLR? FPLP, CMP. What is periodic inspection frequency of sealed lead-acid batteries? Semi-annually. The distance between spot-type heat detectors shall not exceed their listed spacing, and there shall be detectors within a distance of ________ the listed spacing, measured at right angles from the walls. 1/2. What size THHN conduit must be used from a 15 amp circuit breaker to the fire alarm control panel? Number 14. Equipment shall be designed so that it is capable of performing its intended function at % of its nameplate voltage. 85%. A portable ladder shall support at least times the maximum intended load. 3.3 times. Ground fault circuit interrupters are required for all 120 volts power tools on a construction site unless . The work area is dry. The maximum number of 14 AWG, RHH conductors permitted in 1/2 inch EMT is . 4. A 135° Fahrenheit fixed temperature heat detector installed in a warehouse has a history of nuisance alarms. According to NFPA 72, the temperature rating of the detector shall be at least degrees Fahrenheit above the maximum expected temperature at the ceiling. 90 degrees Fahrenheit. Consider a series circuit with two resistors. R1 equals 1000 ohms and R2 equals 10 ohms. The total resistance of the circuit is . 1010 ohms. Which of the following is a symptom of heat stroke? Red skin, elevated body temperature, rapid, weak pulse. While operating an aerial lift, the use of a body harness and is not required. Stabilizer hook, grounding pole, insulation mat. Which of the following tests are required for system-type smoke detectors in 1 and 2 family dwelling? Functional test per manufacturer's instructions. Consider 1000 feet total of 18-gauge soiled coated copper at 167.0 Fahrenheit. The resistance of this conductor is ohm. 8.08 ohm. Fixed temperature, non-restorable spot-type heat detectors must be replaced years from initial installation, or have 2 detectors per 100 laboratory tested. 15 years. What is the required overcurrent protection for an NFPA circuit using 16-gauge wire? 10 amps. The power source for a power-limited fire alarm circuit shall be a listed PFLA or class _____ transformer. 3 transformer. Where partitions extend to within % of the ceiling height, the spaces separated by the partitions shall be considered as separate rooms. 15%. The operable part of a manually actuated alarm initiating device shall be not less than _____ inches AF. 42 inches. Consider heat detectors with listed spacing of 50 feet placed on a smooth and flat ceiling which is 10 feet AF. Based on the ceiling height, the heat detectors shall have a spacing of ____ feet between devices. 50 feet. Which of the following tests are required for system-type smoke detectors in 1 and 2 family dwellings? Functional test per manufacturer's instructions. Which of the following is required to be documented on the notification application supplemental record of inspection and testing? Select 2. 1. Location, identifier 2. Appliance type. Consider the use of PLFA fire alarm cable. The size of conductors and multiconductor cable shall not be smaller than _______AWG. 26 AWG. A person has sustained a burn from a portable heater. Which of the following should not be done when treating the burn? Apply ice. Consider a water flow detection device. Activation of the initiating device shall occur within ______ seconds of water flow at the initiating device when flow occurs which is equal to or greater than that from a single sprinkler with the smallest orifice size installed in the system. 90 seconds. For the purposes of alarm enunciation, each ____ of the building shall be considered as a separate zone. Floor. Consider a test to be conducted on a fire alarm system. According to NFPA 72A______ shall be written to carefully establish the scope of the testing for the fire alarm system. Test plan. While conducting acceptance testing on audible notification, the sound pressure level is measured at 12 dB above the average ambient sound level in the building. According to NFPA 72, the minimum sound level for audible notification appliances in public mode shall be at last ______ above the average ambient sound level. 9 above the average ambient sound level. According to NFPA 72, the sound pressure level of audible appliances shall be tested upon A and B. Initial acceptance, re-acceptance. Which of the following typed shop drawing diagrams does not include information about conduit size? Select 3. 1. System riser. 2. Control unit. 3. Typical wiring. Smoke detectors should not be located in a direct airflow or closer than _______ inches from an air supply diffuser or return air opening. 36 inches. A person has sustained a burn from a portable heater. Which of the following should not be done when treating the burn? Apply ice. Wall-mounted audible appliances shall have their tops above the finished floors at heights of not less than ______ inches and below the finished ceilings at distances of not less than 6 inches. 90 inches. Including new systems and addition or alterations to existing systems, which of the following is not required to be delivered to the owner upon final acceptance of the system? Inspection and testing records, central station history log. Fire alarm cables and conductors installed exposed on the surface of ceilings and side walls shall be supported by ___________. The permanent building structure. Spot-type smoke detectors shall be located on the ceiling or, if on a side wall, between the ceiling and _______ inches down from the ceiling to the top of the detector. 12 inches. A machine on a job site requires safety training before use. The machine does not have a lockout feature. What other options is acceptable? Tag out the machine. A pathway shall be designated as class ______ when it does not include a redundant path and operational capability stops at a single open and operational capability is maintained during the application of a single ground fault. Class B. The branch circuit supplying the fire alarm equipment, S, shall be permitted to supply _______. No other loads. Which of the following is an acceptable method for performing a smoke entry test of a spot-type smoke detector? Listed and labeled smoke product acceptable to the manufacturer. Consider the use of a multimeter in troubleshooting a fire alarm circuit. The circuit has an end-of-the-line resistor with a value of 4.7 ohms. With the circuit disconnected from power, the positive leg of a fire alarm circuit is metered to a known ground with the meter set to the 10 ohm setting. Consider that the circuit is properly functioning. The expected reading on the multimeter is _____ohms. Infinity. The distance between smoke detectors shall not exceed a nominal spacing of _______ feet. 30 feet. The amount of FPLR cable is not sufficient to finish the wiring for the installation of the fire alarm system. What type of cable does the code permit to be used as a substitute? FPLP. Intermediate metal conduit shall be securely fastened within _____ feet of each outlet box, junction box, device box, cabinet, conduit body, or other conduit termination. 3 feet. When preparing to install the circuit breaker and wiring for the fire alarm control panel, there is another person doing other work on the load side of the panel and they have the disconnect feeding the transformer de-energized and locked out. Which of the following is the correct method to proceed before doing your work? The panel is locked out so you can proceed. A fire alarm system strobe flashes at a rate of 1 flash every second. According to NFPA 72, the minimum flash rate for a visible notification appliance shall not be less than ______ flash, ES, per second. 1 flash. What is the periodic inspection frequency of sealed lead-acid batteries? Semi-annually. Consider the installation of heat detectors on a ceiling with beams. A ceiling shall be treated as a smooth ceiling if the beams project no more than ______ inches below the ceiling. 4 inches. Consider the secondary power supply for a fire alarm system. The second power supply shall have sufficient capacity to operate the system under quiescent load for a minimum of _______ 24 hours. Drawings are documents that provide information pertaining to the system necessary for installation of a fire alarm and/or signaling systems. Shop. Fire alarm documentation is required to have a sequence of operation. The diagram used to identify the sequence of operation is ___________________________________________________________________________________________________________________The secondary power supply should automatically provide power to protect premises system within seconds whenever the primary power supply voltage is insufficient for required system's operation. 10 seconds. Consider smoke detector placement on a peak ceiling. Detectors shall first be spaced and located within feet of the peak, measured horizontally. 3 feet. Spot-type heat-sensing fire detectors shall be located on the ceiling not less than inches from the sidewall. 4 inches. What is the minimum size grounding conductor that can be used when wiring a fire alarm control panel to a 20 amp breaker? Number 12. According to NFPA 72, the record of completion section 12.1 is required to be signed by ___________________________________________________________________________________ While conducting fire alarm systems work, a splice in a notification circuit IA required. According to NFPA 70, cable splices shall be made in ______________ boxes, enclosures, fire alarm device. While conducting a test on a fan alarm system, a defect is discovered which cannot be corrected at the conclusion of system testing. This defect should be annotated in section ___________ of the system record of inspection and testing. Section 10. You are using a power tool that has a 3-prong, grounded, plug. The only outlets available are 2-prong, non-grounded. What can be done? Locate a 3-prong plug or used a tool with a 2-prong plug. According to the NFPA 72 Record of Completion Figure 7.8.2, F is underscore 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 underscore. Deviations from adopted codes. Consider Ohm's law. Voltage is represented by E, current is represented by I, and resistance is represented by R, and power is represented by P. E equals 9R. Which of the following is a symptom of a heart attack? Chest pain, difficulty breathing. When performing a charger test for sealed lead-acid batteries, the voltage should be 2.3 volts per cell plus /0.02 volts. 2.3. What does this symbol represent when AF in a square? Pull station. Consider the use of grounding electrodes. Rod and pipe electrodes shall not be less than underscore 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 feet in length. 8 feet. What is the allowable ampacity of a number 14 THHN conductor? 25 amps.